Hey Michael, X-Force PC. Want to do a little experiment today. You know, on a lot of modern computers, well, there's Wi-Fi included. In fact, just about all of them. And wireless AC is the most common one. Well, one thing you have to consider are your antennas. So if you look here on the back of this computer, these are the antennas that come with the Wi-Fi card. And in most cases, they're perfectly acceptable. I think these are 2 dBi gain antennas. The higher that number, the more signal they can pick up. So they make 6 dBi, 9 dBi, but they're also going to be larger antennas. But the question I want to answer is, let's say you have this computer a couple of rooms away, and you have the computer facing against the wall, and the router is the opposite direction. So in other words, the computer itself is a barrier between these antennas and the router, plus the fact the router's maybe a room or two away. So what I've got to test here is this little doohickey I got off of the internet. What this has is, these are 6 dBi antennas. And that's not really the most important part. The most important part is the fact it has this wire attached to it. I don't know, this is maybe a 5-foot wire maybe. I haven't even taken the zip tie off of it yet. But it's magnetized as well, and you can put it on top of your computer, and therefore you've eliminated the computer as a barrier between the antennas and the router. And then also these antennas are higher gain, so you maybe get higher signal. And whether you know it or not, the better your signal with Wi-Fi is also better for your speed and also your responsiveness. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn this computer around, we're going to test it, yada, 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 and we'll see if these antennas really do make a difference. Hey, Michael, X-Force PC back here. I've got the little antennas hooked up in the back. And right now we're running a speed test. We're only getting about anywhere from 1 to 5 megabit per second. So again, the antennas are in the back. The access point's 2 rooms away with 2 walls in between, as well as boxes and things in between there. Lots of barriers. And so what we got with the little antennas in the back, again, we got the barrier of the computer, 2 walls, all the junk in between, computer cases made out of metal, all kinds of stuff. We got 0.7 on the download, 0.7 megabit, and 5 megabit on the upload. Now if we retest, sometimes it won't even get anything, but usually I get something. Let's retest here. Now our internet connection that we're connected to right now is 400 megabyte down and 20 meg up. Again, on the download side, so our ping is 217 milliseconds. That's very high. You want it to be under 100. We're only getting about 1 megabit upload. So we're getting 1 of our 400 megabits, download. And on the upload side, for whatever reason, we get a little better speed sending data, about 3 to 5 megabit. But one thing I'm also noticing is fluctuating a lot and hesitating and pausing a lot. You want this stream to be fairly consistent. So, roughly 200 millisecond ping time, 1 megabit down, 3 megabit up. Now, I'm not even going to stop the camera. I'm just going to take and unscrew these little antennas, and I'm going to screw in the larger antennas. And these larger antennas there's a shelf behind me about 6 feet tall, and I just put the antennas up on top of the shelf. There is a magnet in the antennas, so if you have a metal surface, it can attach to that. So let's rerun this test now and see what we get. And hopefully it's a good bit better. Oh, wow. So yeah, we're hitting about 200 and something megabit on our download. And we're looking at, Yeah, it is capping out about 230 megabit on the download side. The upload side, which again, our cap is around 20 megabit, we're hitting the 20 megabit. So that's pretty doggone good and a pretty big difference. So again, and then our ping went to 19 milliseconds. So our ping went from over 200 milliseconds to 19. Our download speed went from 1 megabit to 240 basically. And our upload speed went from about 3 to 5 megabit up to 20 megabit. And so these antennas are just up on this shelf up here. I'll get them down. I'll try it again with the antennas just sitting on the table here next to me. I'm sort of acting as a barrier at the moment, so they probably won't do quite as well down here. In fact, may not do well at all down here. We're not getting anything at the moment. Let's see, let me take them and put them like up on top of the monitor. The difference between no signal and having signal when you're using wireless AC can make such a huge difference. And there's a fine line there. As you notice, I moved the things maybe 6 feet away and now I can't even really get anything. So I'm gonna go put them back up on the shelf here, up top here. And let's refresh the page. I'm going to hit go. And we're back to a 19 millisecond ping. Now this time, for whatever reason, we're only getting 35 to 40 megabit per second. So when you're at the ragged edge of having signal, you're going to get some inconsistencies like this. Now 40 meg is nothing to complain about. That's still really, really good. But the first time we ran the test, basically with the antennas in the same position, we get 230. But you'll agree that's definitely an improvement over 1 megabit per second down and 3 to 5 megabit per second up. I'll put a link in the video description to these antennas. I'm not saying this is going to fix your issues, but if you're on the ragged edge of having any signal and just you can sort of connect and pages load, but they're really slow, and you get your antennas are behind your computer and they're kind of small, this could possibly make a difference. And it's not expensive. I think they're like $15, something like that. So not a big investment.